Hello students. We know that every living organism in an ecosystem needs energy to survive. They get this energy from food they consume. We have seen in our previous videos that food chain is a sequence of who eats whom. That is, it is a link between series of organisms feeding on one another at various trophic levels. Thus, the interactions among various components of the environment also involves flow of energy from one component of the system to another. So let's understand the concept of energy flow in an ecosystem in little detail. The flow of energy in the ecosystem is one of the major factors that support the survival of such a great number of organisms. We already know that for almost all organisms on Earth, the primary source of energy is the solar energy. It will be amazing for you to know that most of the sun's radiation that falls on Earth are usually reflected back into the space by Earth's atmosphere. Overall, we receive only about 40 to 50% of total radiant energy from the sun. And out of that, only around 2 to 10% of energy is used up by plants for the process of photosynthesis. As we know, for almost all the ecosystems, plants are the producers and all the consumers are either directly or indirectly dependent on them for their survival. Plants absorb sunlight with the help of the chloroplast and convert it into the chemical energy in the process of photosynthesis. This energy is stored in various forms of organic products in the plants. Now, this energy is passed on to the primary consumers or herbivores in the food chain when they eat the plants as food. Then the energy flows to the secondary consumers from the herbivores, that is primary consumers, when they are eaten up by other carnivores, and finally to the tertiary consumers who eat up the smaller carnivores. The energy passes to them. Thus, the autotrophs capture the solar energy and convert it into chemical energy, which is then passed on to heterotrophs and finally decomposes. Students, as a rule, we know that when one form of energy is transferred from the one system to the other system, some energy is lost to the environment in the form of heat, and this lost form of energy cannot be used again. So is the case with food chain as well. The energy when flows from one trophic level to the other trophic level in a food chain, some percent of energy is lost in the environment. As we said, the energy transferred from first trophic level to the other is around 10% and hence called as 10% energy rule or 10% energy law. According to this law, only 10% of energy is transferred from one trophic level to the other. Rest is either utilized by the organism for their survival or lost in the atmosphere. So let us understand this in little detail. Green plants, which form the first trophic level, let us say convert 10,000 kilocalories of solar energy to chemical energy per year, that is in 1 year. They generate 10,000 kilocalories of energy. When herbivores eat these plants, only a fraction of this energy gets transferred to them. Since we know that rest of the energy is either used up by plants to carry out their life processes like photosynthesis, respiration, reproduction, etc., or is lost as a heat in the environment. In fact, the herbivores get only 10% of the total energy produced by plants. So to say they receive only 1000 kilocalories of energy per year. Now when these herbivores are eaten by carnivores, again only 10% of total energy is received by carnivores at the next trophic level. logic remains the same. Of the total energy at the second trophic level, some energy will be used up by herbivores and some will be lost as heat. So we can say that at third trophic level, energy available is 10% of 1000 kilocalories. That is 100 kilocalories per year. Now, can you guess at the next trophic level what would be the available amount of energy? Yes, you are right. At the next trophic level, when the tertiary consumers eat up secondary consumers, they will get still lesser energy, say 10% of 100 kilocalories, that is 10 kilocalories of energy per year, that is in whole year. Now students, you can observe that as the large amount of energy is lost at each link, that is at each trophic level, the amount of energy that is transferred gets lesser and lesser as we go up the food chain. And top order carnivores get only 10 kilocalories of energy out of 10,000 kilocalories of energy available at producer level. And this is the reason why top order carnivores have to eat many herbivorous animals in order to get enough energy to grow and reproduce. We already said this is termed as 10% energy rule, which states that only 10% of this energy available from each trophic level gets passed on to the next trophic level. Students, note that this energy flow is unidirectional. That is, the energy which is transferred from one trophic level to the higher trophic level does not come back again. Can you guess why? Think about it. We will answer this in our next video.